Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Odd Vlog, and following on from our recent episode going through all of our Disneyland Paris haul video, we've got a separate video just for all of the pins that came back with me. So we've got actually more than I thought, quite a few to get through, which is why we wanted to do it as a separate video just to make life a little bit easier and kind of condense them down. And obviously if you love pins, this is all just about the pins. So to start off with, as well as the pins themselves, do also get a new bag this year. So we've got a new pin trading bag for them to go into. I have to say these are smaller than the last ones, certainly the last one that I had. So they seem to have shrunk ever so slightly, get less pages in them than they used to, but the price has gone up. So I wasn't too happy about that, but I desperately needed one. If you saw my last pin collection video that I did, you will see that I basically had no space left whatsoever in my old bag. So a new one was definitely needed, and it's cool. It's nice. It's pretty basic. You only get one style, so that's it. That's the bag. And in addition to pins and the bag, what I also found in Disneyland Paris this year were these. They're not pins, but they are actually kind of like little tags to go onto the bag. Don't really know what the theory is behind this, but they're kind of like charms. So if you look at the back there, you can see you can attach them to like your lanyards if you want to, just as like a bit of a decoration. You can also see there it costs I think €5, and I've got a decent Pirates of the Caribbean one there. I'm not going to attach them to a lanyard though. I'll be sticking them basically onto the zip pulls for the bag. So I got a decent Pirates of the Caribbean one there. It was pretty cool. And then obviously my favourite ride, I had to get a Big Thunder Mountain one as well. So again, they're just basically a little bit of decoration just to personalise your bags or your lanyards or whatever else you want to put them on. So just kind of cool. So not a pin, but still they'll go on the pin bag. They look really good. So let's start off with actually some of the better, more unique and probably quite rare pins. Let's actually start with this one, which was a limited edition one. It's just happened to be on sale on our last day, I think, that we were there. So they had a few of these. So obviously it's Genie from Aladdin, and I had a few different styles, but this was the one that I got. And it's actually quite a large pin, but limited edition, so very, very collectible, and definitely one of the more favourites that I have, and definitely one of the more rare ones that I have too. So really, really like that. And when it comes to rare pins, very, very lucky we were able to go and eat at Walt's American Diner while we were there, and they were selling these 30th anniversary pins as well. So basically you had to ask for these, and you could only get them if you were eating there. So if you are, and they're still selling these, it's worth asking whether or not you can get one. So obviously you've got the Walt's logo on the front of the 30th anniversary logo, and just a really, really kind of cool keepsake. It's a fantastic dinner. Food is amazing, and the setting is just perfect. It's, I think, probably one of the best restaurants in Disneyland Paris by a long way. I mean, it's not even close. It's the most expensive, but there's a reason for that. And obviously you can watch the parades going by on Main Street as you're eating in there. So very, very cool. Very, very happy to come away with a unique pin as well. And when it comes to 30th anniversary merch, they only had very limited pins as far as that was concerned. And I only managed to get this one, but I was happy to come away with one more than none. So we've got a little 30th anniversary one there. Again, it's the logo, but with the castle and Tinkerbell in the centre of it. I do like it. It's very, very cool, but I was very disappointed that they didn't have a greater selection when we were there, and apparently it was quite a common problem for that time of the year. It was March, so not like a peak season or anything. They've brought out more styles since, and I think at the time they'd basically just kind of run out of stock and weren't planning to replace any of the other ones. So this was the only one that I was able to get, but I still like it. Still think it's really good. And of course, something that I get every time that I go is a year pin. So they did have quite a few of these to choose from. This was the one that I came away with. So you got 2023. I like the ones where you get the castle in them. So this was the one that I opted for, but you do get a bit of a mix with different characters that you can choose from. Obviously, it's all the same sort of style with the orange and yellow with, in this case, Mickey and Minnie. But I did really like that. I thought that was actually really cool. I'm not sure why they went for this colour scheme, because it didn't really match the 30th anniversary colours. So I was a bit surprised that they went with yellow and orange, which was a bit random, I thought. But it still looks really cool. I really like it. I actually think it looks a little bit more of like sort of full season, Halloween season. But yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. And then along the same vein, I also managed to get this 2023 one as well. So again, it's the same coloured backing, but no actual colour on the pin. But I really, really like that style, where it's kind of like enamel. And I just really like that. I think that's really cool. In addition to the years, I also managed to find just a couple of slightly generic pins. We've got a couple for the studios here. So we've got that one there. I do already have a studios pin, but well, there's no harm in having any more. So there we go. We've got basically the Mickey ears with Mickey in the middle there, holding the camera, running the film, and I just really like that. I think it's very, very appropriate theming there for the studios. It just looks really good, very, very on theme. And then similarly as well, we also got this one. Again, just for the studios there of the water tower as you go in. So just really iconic looking pins, and just really, really like that enamel style in silver or grey or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, really, really like that. Just think it's really cool. Now, in terms of pins for 2023, I did get a new lanyard for 2023. As you can see, we've got the card at the bottom there. Again, it's this whole yellow and gold there, yellow and orange theming, I should say. So you've got the card there on the lanyard, and then it obviously comes with a starter set of pins. So I've got all of the sort of 6 characters there. Really, really like this. It's just really simple, nothing too overly complicated or fancy. I didn't really want to trade the pins, but if I was going to trade any, these probably would be the ones that I would do it with. So it's kind of just handy when you go there just to grab a starter kit like this, which is a little bit generic. It just gives you some pins to trade around if you see any like cast members or guests that are trading and there's something that you really want. It's handy just to have some generic pins like this ready and raring to trade if you need to. But I didn't in the end, so just kept it as it is. And yeah, it's a nice little set. Now, as many of you will know, if you've seen my other pin bag and the collection that's in there, I will go for any pins that resemble Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates theming or Peter Pan or anything like that. So I did manage to find Peter Pan's Flight Ride pin there with a bit of a kind of piratey nautical theme. So I really, really liked that. And then I also managed to get another one of that set as well. So you got like Goofy Captain Hook there being eaten by the crocodile, so it's basically taken straight out of a scene out of the movie but also out of the ride. And yeah, I just really, really like these two. They did have quite a lot of this set where you have basically pins for rides but mixed in with sort of your main kind of Disney characters like Goofy or Chip and Dale were the other ones that I saw quite a lot. I can't remember what rides they were for, but this was part of a set. But these were the only two that I kind of really, really liked, or that were for rides that I really love. So I didn't find one, for example, for Big Thunder Mountain, otherwise I'd have got it. Didn't find one for Pirates of the Caribbean, otherwise I'd have got that. But I think they did have some for like Tower of Terror and that kind of stuff, which is okay. It's just not one of my favourite rides. So this was the only one of the set, or two of the set, that I managed to get. And then when it comes to pins relating to rides, well, this was the first time that I'd actually gone to see the new Avengers Campus. So I actually came back with a lot more pins than I thought that I would. Starting off with this little starter set for the Web Slingers ride. I don't actually think it's called the Web Slingers ride, but that's just what I call it. That's definitely what it's called in America. So you've basically got this Spider-Man set that's here. I do already have a couple of kind of like generic Disney Marvel pins with Spider-Man, and the theming goes along really, really well with these, so I wanted to get it. I really, really like them though. You've obviously got like the Web Slingers logos, you've obviously got Spider-Man's head there, and it's just a really nice, really cool starter set. And yeah, got that one, and then also ended up finding a few more sort of random single pins. So first and foremost was this one where you've got Spider-Man there leaping over a building. Again, just Avengers Campus themed, but Spider-Man specifically, because that's obviously they've only got a couple of rides there in Avengers Campus, and they didn't seem to have any pins for the actual Avengers ride, which I thought was really strange. I'm struggling to remember the name of it, even though it's actually on my hat. So Avengers Flight Force, didn't actually see any pins for that, but loads of them for Spider-Man and for the Web Slingers ride. So we've got another one there. And then another one again. I prefer this one over the other one, but you've got Spider-Man again there. It's just a much, much cooler imagery, I think, of Spider-Man. Slinging webs all over the place. So again, that's his ride. But all of the pins that were there, other than a couple of like ones for Captain Marvel specifically, were Spider-Man and Web Slingers based. But they're cool. It's a nice set. And yeah, glad that I was able to come away with a few of those. They did have one that wasn't Spider-Man themed, and that was of the Quinjet. So I definitely wanted to get that one. It's obviously very Avengers themed. The Quinjet, as you go into Avengers Campus, is one of the main sort of things that you see. So if you're there as a guest, it's a bit of an attraction to go and have a look at it. And I really, really liked the pin too. I liked the design of it. And of course, it's Avengers, so I had to get it. So there we go. And then finally, and really, really randomly, if you have Disneyland Paris specifically collections, you may know that for many, many years they used to do pins for each of the hotels, each of the resorts that are on there, and it was a set where they were called key pins, I think. So you had like a logo of the hotel in the middle, and then there was a gold key that would hang off the end of the pin. Now they seem to have stopped doing those for some reason, and it was really frustrating because I had one for every hotel that I had stayed in except for Newport Bay. I was never able to get a Newport Bay pin. However, while we were there, I managed to go in and find this little treasure, and it's not part of the same set. It doesn't have the key hanging off of it like the other hotel pins do, and if you want to have a look at those, go back and have a look at my old pin collection video where you'll see that. But I was glad that I was able to at least find something for Newport Bay, because that was definitely missing from my own little kind of personal collection of all the hotels that I've stayed in. So I was really lucky to find this, because it was only a couple that were in there, hidden in some corner of the gift shop in Newport Bay, and certainly didn't see it anywhere else, and didn't see any pins of any other hotel either in the entire park. So really lucky to find this, and yeah, really super happy to come away with it. So there we go. That is all of the pins that we got in Disneyland Paris, which I now obviously need to try and figure out where they're going to live in the new bag and get it all set up. And it's going to obviously take quite a while to do that. But we do have more. There are more pins to come, because when we came back from Disneyland Paris, we also had some pin mail, because I have to say I was very disappointed that there were not any Disney 100 pins anywhere in Disneyland Paris, in any shop, and I searched and didn't find a single one. So while we were there on the way back, I was ordering some from the Disney store, and that mail obviously came through. So in a separate video I will go through those. There's just a few to show you, but I'll do that in a separate video, so please stay tuned. And with that, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys real soon.